Hey everyone, welcome back. And today we got a big one. It's the new Mattel Jurassic World Dino Rivals Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex. I just got this girl in from Amazon. This was up for pre-order around the middle of March. I think March 15th is when this went up for pre-order on Amazon. And I pre-ordered as soon as it came up, probably a couple hours after it got posted. And yesterday, got the notification that it was shipping. And when I got home from work, sitting at my doorstep. So this figure retails for $39.99. You could also pre-order it from Entertainment Earth. They do a little bit of a markup on their figures. I think it was $49.99 plus $10 shipping, so you're going to end up paying $20 over retail. I know a lot of people went the Entertainment Earth route because they thought they were going to get it in earlier, kind of like what they did with the Bite and Fight T-Rex. But looks like Amazon beat them to it. And actually, this figure has popped up on shelves. A few days ago, someone posted pictures that it is in the gift shops at Universal Studios. So if you're still trying to get your hands on this figure, I'll leave a link in the description to Amazon. It says temporarily out of stock, but you can still order it, and they said they'll notify you when more come back into stock. I know a lot of people ordered it the same day I did, and they still haven't gotten theirs yet. I know a few people are getting them tomorrow, and some people that ordered minutes after me said they still haven't gotten a shipping notification yet. I'm sure you'll be getting them very shortly. There's no need to freak out about this figure. I know we've been waiting for a really good Indominus Rex for a while now, but just be patient. You will get it, hopefully. I'm just, going off gut instinct here. I have no idea how Amazon handles their pre-orders. So with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at the packaging before we rip this beautiful girl out of it. As you can see, it comes in the standard Dino Rival packaging, which has been the style of packaging since the beginning of the year when the new figures started coming out. This is a really big figure. I can see this eventually replacing the Thrash and Throw T-Rex on shelves. I know Walmart has really shrunk down their Jurassic Park display. I haven't seen any of the large figures like the Bite and Fight Rex on the shelves at any of the Walmarts around me. I can actually see this figure popping up in Target before it pops up at Walmart. Whenever Walmart decides to do a reset of the aisles, I think I heard that wasn't probably going to happen till the end of the summer. But Target still has a decent amount of shelf space for the larger figures. I can see this popping up there before Walmart. So, from the box, you got the Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex. You got your Dino Rival symbol, which has changed up a little bit. Usually it was the T-Rex and Triceratops, and now you have the Indominus Rex. And you still got your Owen. Little symbol that has, I guess, 3 button features. The roar, I think the throat lighten up, which is activated by throwing a figure down the throat. You got some more pictures of some of the action figure features. This figure does have a lot of gimmicks. And a quick look at the back of the box. You got the Dino Rival card in the corner right there. A couple pictures of some of the attack packs from the prior wave. Right now, the newest wave out is the one with the Moosaurus and the Protoceratosaurus and Charlie. Nice pictures of the light-up feature on the Indominus Rex. You got blue. You got more pictures of the gimmicks on this figure, which this is going to be a fun figure. I haven't taken it out yet to mess around with it. So, with all that out of the way, let's crack this girl open and see what all the fuss is about. And there she is, the Indominus Rex out of her packaging. This is such a fantastic figure. When pictures surfaced from Toy Fair when they first showed this thing off, me and a lot of other people instantly fell in love with this thing. This is the Indominus Rex that fans of this line deserved. Not that derpy, weird-looking thing that Hasbro gave us a few years ago. She is absolutely impressive. But before we take a closer look at her, since she is part of the Dino Rivals assortment, she comes with a nice collector card. I have to keep my hand so far out because she is such a big figure to keep in frame. So you got some nice artwork right there. Still no idea how to play this game with these cards, but she is a pretty powerful card. And before we pull this figure closer and play around with all the gimmicks on it and take a closer look at the detail, let's get size measurements right out of the way. So this figure is just a hair over 23 inches long, so almost 2 feet long, and about 9.5 inches tall at the top of the head. So this is a big Jurassic World figure. The only other figure that is currently in the line right now that is bigger than it is probably the Mosasaurus, and then we have the Legacy Collection Brachiosaurus, which is coming out sometime this summer, which will put every other figure to shame size-wise. So with those measurements, that will put this Indominus Rex in the 120 scale range. In the movie, the Indominus was a sub-adult. It was around 40 feet long. They said it could reach lengths of 50 feet, so with that 40-foot measurement, this is a 120 scale figure. So let's take a closer look at the details of this beautiful girl, starting with that head. You can see the teeth are all painted really nicely. They didn't really miss anything. I just have one tiny little paint blemish right here from the white paint used on the teeth, and that really is like the only blemish on this entire figure. The eye is done in a nice orange color. You got some black shading. Looking at this is such a big figure to maneuver. Looking at the front, the head is very wide, but that is for its action feature, which we'll get to later. And you can see it's got the quills along the top of the head, and these are a softer, flexible material, so you have to worry about these snapping off. You'd have to put some serious force to break those off. The body is done mostly in an off-white color with some gray shading, so that matches the movie coloration really well. You got some more quills on the underside of the arms. The claws are nice and long. They are unpainted. I kind of wish they were the same color as the toenails, so I might end up adding some paint to those down the road to really make these look a lot better. The feet are, let me focus in on them, nice and wide with the toes spread out. And you got those nice long Indominus Rex foot claws done in a dark gray paint. A lot of nice scaling and texturing on this figure. You got, you know, little bumps in osteoderms and spikes on the back. The leg is heavily textured. This figure just feels great to hold. Get a look at that detailing on the tail. The tail is not articulated at all. This is all mounted together because this all incorporates the action feature that this figure has, which we'll get to after we go over articulation. So the only parts of this figure that are articulated are the arms. They are spring-loaded for the action feature, but they can rotate all the way around. They actually have a joint at the elbow, and they can swivel side to side. The legs, the feet can rotate. They're nice and tight. The rotation at the ankles. There is no hip pivot in this figure, but it stands solid as a rock. You don't have to worry about this thing tipping over at all. And the mouth can open when you press the button in the back, and that mouth opens really nice and wide. You can get a nice look at that mouth detail. You get some nice gloss paint for the tongue, some molded detail in there, and even the top of the mouth is sculpted really nicely. So we are going to take a look at this girl's action features now. For the action features on the Indominus, it does have electronic lights and sounds and a few action features. So they can be activated by these two buttons on the back. One on the back and one at the base of the tail. So the button on the back activates her slash in action with a couple sound effects. So you can put a figure here. We'll use Dr. Grant as our victim, and you just press the button and she has grabbed and slashed Dr. Grant. And she can also pick up some of the smaller dinosaurs, we'll use this battle damage blue. And, yep, she got him. And pushing the button on the base of the tail opens her mouth. And you get some nice Indominus Rex roars. One thing I forgot to mention when we were going over articulation is on the legs, if you move this right leg, you got some nice clicking ratchets that lock the leg into position. But if you move the left leg, the right leg will move with it. And the reason for this is for its other action feature. When you grab it by the left leg, its head will rotate, will move down to snatch up a prey. So what you'll want to do to get that action feature going, let's get our little Dr. Grant victim. Grab the left leg, open the mouth, and rotate her down to snap up the prey. And then you can, let me just move the camera back because she gets really tall for this. She can swallow the prey. And once it's in the mouth, there's a light up feature. And you can barely see it glowing with all these studio lights on. But in the dark, this action feature is pretty cool. So let's go to that other video I made. So obviously that light up action feature in the throat, where you can see the outline of its victim, works extremely well in the dark. In daylight, you're barely going to see anything. So let's open the mouth and take a look and see how that mechanism works. There is a clear plastic plate right here that the figure will hit and will activate those LEDs. So any figure you stop in there is, whoops, they can't go any farther than this little clear plastic plate, so you're not going to lose anything inside her stomach. So with those action features out of the way, let's move on to comparisons. Alright, first up for comparisons, we have one of the attack packs. Here it is with the new Moosaurus. And here it is with battle damage blue. You can see just how big she towers over the raptors, as she should. And here it is with Dr. Grant. And here it is with one of its victims from the movie, the Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus is a little small compared next to this girl. And here it is with the battle damage Albertosaurus. And here it is with the Carnotaurus. Such a pain to juggle all these figures. And let's move on to the Rexes. Here it is with the Legacy Collection mold. This is the green T-Rex, and you can see she absolutely towers over this Rex and is a lot longer than it. You can just see in this picture right here how much longer she is than this mold. And here is the Bite and Fight T-Rex, and these scale really, really well together. She is just a little bit longer than him and a little bit taller. Sorry, than her. It's Rexy, not a him. And you can see in this overhead shot the side difference between them. So, yeah, these figures look really, really good together. And last but not least, here it is with the Mosasaurus. And the Mosasaurus is just a little bit longer than the Indominus. I mean, if this Mosasaurus was in scale to the Indominus, this figure would be absolutely massive. It is already a big figure, so I'm not going to really complain. And it obviously can get its mouth around the neck of the Indominus, so you can recreate that iconic scene from the end of the movie. And one last thing, the claws can actually, if you just push them together, they can interlock, so you can have her holding a figure really easily if that's what you want to do. So yeah, final thoughts on this figure. I think she is absolutely fantastic. Mattel did a really, really great job giving us an Indominus Rex figure that does that character justice, blows the Hasbro one out of the water. I don't have the Hasbro one for comparison. I only have one Hasbro Jurassic World toy. It's the T-Rex, which I randomly found at Target at the beginning of the year because I was just so off-put by what they did to the line. Mattel has done a great job handling the line so far. They haven't been perfect. You know, paint quality and quality control issues have been, you know, problems popping up here and there, but in this figure, I can tell they did extra quality control. All the joints are really tight. The action features work great. It feels very solid of a figure. The one thing I've heard people complain about this figure, as with most of the Jurassic World figures, that the tail looks a little too short. You know what? It does not look that bad on this figure, because in the movie, the Indominus Rex tail tapered off really quickly and always looked kind of short relatively to the size of the animal. So this short tail look on this figure really doesn't take away too much from this gorgeous, gorgeous sculpt. So I highly recommend you pick up this thing. Like I said earlier, I got mine off Amazon. I pre-ordered it for its regular retail price, $39.99. As of last night, a lot of people said their Entertainment Earth orders are pending, which means they should be shipping out soon. You can also order it through them, because I know right now Amazon says they are temporarily out of stock. You still have the option to order it, and they'll notify you when more come in the stock. So I'll leave a link in the description to Amazon to order this guy. And I have no idea when this is going to hit store shelves. The only on-shelf sighting we have so far is Universal Studios in the gift store, and I think it was retailing for $80, you know, double retail, typical theme park prices. So I can see this ending up in Target first, since they right now have the largest shelf space for Jurassic World. They still stock a lot of the big figures. Some of my Walmarts still have Bite and Fight Rexes, some of them don't, and there's no tag on the shelf for them. So whenever Walmart gets around to a planogram reset, they should be seeing it. So hope you guys like the review. I absolutely love this figure, and I'm sure anyone that receives it are going to absolutely fall in love with it. And as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. The channel is growing really well, and every subscription helps the channel. And I'll see you guys for the next review, which will hopefully be PNSO, because I have 3 of the new figures in, and they've been stuck in customs hell for just over 2 weeks now. So hopefully I'll be getting those next week, and those will be the next set of dinosaur models I'll be reviewing. So everyone have a good day. See you for the next one.